with the recording started, we are back. And as I've just been reminded, episode 23. So far, everyone is still alive.
Sort of.
Well, alive and kicking. Mug somewhat literally right now. So to briefly recap, you had explored deep into the ruins of the old city, heading towards the source of light that had been appearing every now and again, and you came across a large old building that had partially collapsed and had every now and again manticores rising out of the roof. You fought some of the manticores, and eventually a large angry one with shattered wings and covered in chains burst out, and you managed to slay it. Inside, you'd found 2 runic rings on the floor emitting a slight glow, and in your investigations, Mug stepped into one of the rings.
This is Mug's way to investigate. It worked.
It worked.
It's highly practical.
You discovered what the ring did, in that another version of Mug appeared in the other one, drew a weapon, bellowed a challenge, and charged.
Yep.
Mug, not one to give up a fight, did the exact same thing. At which point, the remaining 2 members of the party are now trying to work out which of the 2 fighting Mugs is which.
Will I know which is which? Oh, because if the wrong one dies, then both of them dies, and if the right one dies, then only one of them dies.
That is the logic.
But Mug is not going to work this out.
To be honest, I have concerns about Mug's chances with everyone else as well.
It's easy. Just shoot both of them in the... We'll measure the responses to see who is the real Mug.
Yeah. So actually, does Mug have a loaded gun?
Mug does indeed have a loaded gun.
Uh-oh.
Do both Mugs have a
loaded gun?
Everything that one Mug has, the other has.
Oh.
So both of them have a loaded gun.
Okay, so I'm guessing we have to first roll initiative to see which Mug starts.
Yep. Just to keep track of things.
Probably the other Mug.
We shall see. Hang on. Initiative.
So you have to look at my character sheet now.
Yes, I've pulled it up.
Not great.
And then I'm remembering how to roll initiative.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I tried to roll with a D20 and realized, oh no.
And you don't have... Oh no, you got +2 dex.
+2? I thought it was +1. Okay. So, thank you for reminding me.
On the sheet, I've got +2.
It's slightly better than I remembered. Well, I didn't check the sheet.
Hang on, you got 8 +2. Right. This is fucking hilarious.
Oh, that's...
Is it the same?
Not quite.
That's right.
Popcorn.
Silas, can you read that out?
Wait. Do you have popcorn? This might get exciting.
And then popcorn emoji.
That went well.
I'm sure Alar could whip something up.
Rightio. So is anyone else involving themselves, or is it just Mug on Mug?
I think it's Mug versus Mug.
To be fair, I reckon that Silas, or Edric, realizing that both of the Mugs have a loaded weapon, is going to take a few steps back
Go for it.
And he's just gonna ready one pistol.
So, to explain the order of events, both mugs have turn and charged at each other, but the one that shouted first got off just a split second earlier. To be honest, it literally rolled 1 above, yeah.
Yeah. It's a superior clone. No.
So
Okay, what
this
does the clone do?
it rushes forward and actually drops its maul right in front of you and goes to grab and throw you.
Oh, it's hand-to-hand combat. We are
Yep.
getting very physical. Yeah.
Fine.
That is the one true way to test our strengths.
See, a
Let's rip each other's shirts up.
Is this the point where we throw oil at them?
Yeah, but after the shirt is ripped off. Otherwise, the shirt will get oily.
Fair. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Right. So
This is exactly why I made this character. So we can have oiled up pit fight.
So the other mug has thrown a punch.
Is it going to be mug A and mug B?
Yes.
Depending on initiative order, and we don't know which one is which.
And it can swap, because remember that one of the stunts allows you to steal initiative.
Oh!
So, for lack of better description, Mug A has thrown a punch and it has connected.
What?
Only just, and it did only 3 damage, which meant that your armor caught pretty much all the force.
Uh-oh. This will take forever if we are hand.
Oh, we'll see.
Okay.
So that's all
Okay.
of Mug's. Oh, yep. All of Mug's charge.
That was mug A.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Then mug B shouts, "I'm disappointed in myself. this is how I fight." and then tries to also throw a punch. And probably does equally badly.
So if you didn't move, you will get an aim. So add +1 to your hit.
Only +1. Fist fighting is accuracy, so that's +3
3,
for me,
yep.
isn't it?
Are they out the circle right now or in it?
They're sort of in between the 2 circles right now.
So like if they go and keep going in between, does that mean more and more will keep appearing?
Does 12 just connect?
Yep, that will hit.
So I have a 12.
Yep.
Oh my god, we are rolling the same. It really is a clone.
Oh yeah, clones are
Perfect clone.
fun for this exact reason.
And what's the damage with the fists?
I think it is 1d6 plus your strength off the top of my head. So
I have the fist fighting thing as well.
oh, hang on, what's fist fighting do? You've got.
It does something.
Yeah.
I'm a novice in fist fighting. I can't remember what it does.
Let me have a quick squiz. Alright. Stop the Facebook dings because that's getting annoying.
I think it is on my character sheet. If it doesn't, because I put this stuff on my character sheet to remind myself because I keep forgetting it.
So from memory,
So novice in Oran style 1d6 fist. Okay, plus strength, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see
right,
if I
yes.
can actually damage the clone. Yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's right. I was just about to say, I think fist fights normally don't do as 1d6 damage.
Yes. So it's 1d6.
Yep.
So my damage is actually 8.
Noted. So you actually managed to get a good hit in.
Yes, exactly. So it was valid to brag, like Mug. Normally does. I mean, it's just about able to hit it, but then damage.
So, the first mug throws a punch and it barely touches, just glancing off your armor. Let me just mute this.
So Mug B is disappointed, and then shows Mug A how it's done.
How do I mute that? Actually, no. All right. So, Mug, you received a very light tap as you had your armor absorb most of the hit. Following on from that, you have returned and blow back, and as Mug A has overbalanced slightly, you deliver a really good shot to the jaw.
Yes.
The other mug spits out some blood and grins wickedly at you.
Yeah. You better be enjoying this. I've not fought a worthy opponent in so long.
The other mug says, "We enjoy every minute of this." And
yes,
then
we do.
throws another punch. Ooh. This is going to be fun. So, Mug, your doppelganger throws a feint, and instead of punching you as you expect, instead is going...
You're kind of lagging, Glenn, to me. I'm not sure I understand.
And I just moved the microphone better. Hopefully that helps. So basically, the Mug A looks like he's about to throw a punch,
Yes.
and instead throws a feint and then grabs you and knocks you flat on your stomach into the circle.
Damn it! This is what happens when someone plays who knows what to do apart from punching.
So, yeah. So he's literally just grabbed you and thrown you, and you've landed on your stomach in the circle.
Okay, so Mug B shouts, well done, finally!
You shout that, and you hear two voices in unison go, "You're not bad yourself."
Two voices.
The rest of you, the circle that Mug can't currently see lights up.
Oh.
And you watch another mug appear in the circle.
No.
And this one looks at you.
But Mug B is getting even more excited now. Yes, I can fight multiple people at the same time. I mean, yeah. Let's all have a group fight.
Can I take one action with the weapon that I had readied at the beginning
Yes,
of combat?
you can.
So a new mug appeared.
Yep.
I noticed that that's a new mug, right?
Yep. He's standing dead in the center of a circle.
Can I shoot him in the kneecap?
Go for it.
Oh.
That's 6 plus 6 plus 1 plus... It's a pistol, so that's plus 4. Is 17 total.
That's a hit.
With 6 stun points.
Do your damage.
I'd like to lethal blow and then rapid reload.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 3d6. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
I'm also going to say, don't forget your pinpoint.
Oh yes, pinpoint.
I like the assumption that you're faster than Mug, but at the same time, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah, you probably are. You have much higher dexterity.
Facebook, why have you changed your settings?
Plus 6 additional damage from pinpoint, so that's 28 damage in total.
Noted, except
20 fucking damage.
And I'll just look at Wisp and go, so now we recognize that that one is a fake.
Yeah.
So Mugby shouts, "You bastard! You shot me! How dare you!
So
You're not
that's our
my
mug.
friend anymore."
That's our mug.
So that's ours.
Yeah. Don't the size of them.
Do we have any way to like mark which one it is? Game of
Not
card monster?
anymore.
Because right now we have marked one, like being crippled.
So, based on that, are you both still standing on the sidelines, or?
Yep, I'm gonna stay on the sidelines, just casually shooting the one that just appeared.
Okay, I'll get you to roll initiative just so that you're in the order.
Okay, so that's 4 plus 3 is a number. That's 11, and then plus dexterity makes... Glenn.
I missed that.
14.
14. All right. All right, so that puts you in the top of the order now, but we'll say that that was your action that you just took. Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So, Edric, you've shot the mug in the middle of the ring. The mug standing in the center of the two rings grins and picks up his maul and charges at the prone mug.
At the prone mug, which is the one that I shot.
No, the one that's lying in the middle of the ring.
Oh, yes.
And that's going to be a hit.
Oh no.
Squish.
Right. So, Mug, you take 15 damage minus your armor.
Wow.
So,
That was
11.
a good one. But 15 damage with fists,
That was with you, the mole. It stopped using fists.
Ah, okay. It's finally taking this seriously, are you? Let's fight like real men to the death.
And with that, Mug, it's your turn.
Let me record my.
Yeah, so
thinking.
that's 11 actual damage as your armor would have shrugged off 4.
Yeah, I want to just record it, but
Let me just also do that. See where she steps in.
Oh, I'm struggling with. Do you think there was damage remaining from the previous session, or was it healed by?
It should have been healed by Alara.
Okay. Oh no, where did it go? I can't see my.
I think you got 49 hit points a lot.
Okay.
So if you took 11 damage, that would be 38 hit points.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So,
That's
okay.
right.
Okay. So is Mug still prone?
Yeah, but you'll be able to burn your minor action to get up.
Yeah, and can I shoot?
Point blank, yes, but you wouldn't be aiming. It would just be point blank shot.
Yeah, point blank shot. Because Mug is like, yeah, finally taking this seriously. Yeah, let's fight to the death, and then gets out his gun and point blank shoots. Oh, this better be good. Is there any modifier for point blank or?
You know what? I'll give you a +1 to that anyway, because at that range, it's going to be really hard to miss.
Yeah, it's actually a decent one, but unfortunately, there's no
stunts.
stunt points.
That's right.
I'm so sad.
Roll your damage.
Yeah, I don't even calculate this. This is going to hit.
Yep.
What was the damage with the gun? Is it 2d6?
Best person to answer that, I think, is actually Edric.
It's a pistol, right?
Yep.
Normal pistol is 1d6 plus perception.
Perception?
Yep. Which you have +1.
Okay.
So that would be 1d6 plus 4. But does it change by the fact that you're a mage hunter? Because I literally don't know that.
Mage hunter novice makes up magic damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so just magic.
Yeah.
Damage.
Oh, so unfortunately it's 4 total, so that does nothing, even though it's magic damage, unless that goes through armor.
Well, you get the shot off. It's not very well aimed, so you're fully expecting it to ricochet off the armor, but it does seem to hurt it.
Oh, because it's a magical creation, but Mug doesn't realize this. Yet.
You see that it hurt, though.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wait, do these shots now also pierce armor?
Nope.
No, I didn't use pierce armor.
It didn't pierce armor. It just hurt it.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
So that's Mug, and that brings up Mug B, which is the one that.
You mean Mug C?
Well, actually, yeah. You know what? Let me do this way. Yeah, Mug C.
Mug C. A Mug C.
Well, no. Based on that, let me go see there. And both of you guys are jumping in here until Wisp decides to intervene.
Oh, I want to go investigate the books and papers, so...
Okay, yep, so Wisp has just basically waltzed on through, ignoring all the fights, and is looking through the papers for anything useful. Yep. I'll get you to roll a perception.
Perception? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, perception and investigation. I don't think you've got that, but a straight perception should be enough. Oh, actually, sorry, perception seeing is what I should say. In the meantime, there is a mug in the middle of a circle bleeding, and looking at you, Edric, and yes, you see this mug's eyes go black, and its grin just gets very wide.
I give it a little wave. Oh wait, it's bleeding, right?
It's bleeding, yeah.
I don't wave.
Let me just double check what this does. Right. This mug doesn't move. Instead, you see its eyes go white, and a shape manifests behind it.
Mug, do you always do this?
You've seen this shape before?
Mug is not paying attention.
It's the fucking girl, isn't it?
And it levels a hand in your direction.
Can I shoot the girl?
What's your dex? Or more to the point, your defense.
My defense is 13.
Oh, actually, sorry, let me rephrase that. I need you to do a dex save.
Do I add anything to a save?
It'll be your dex modifier.
Just the dex modifier?
If you actually throw your acrobatics on it.
That's +2 from acrobatics then, right?
Yep.
In that case, I get a nearly full house. Or a full house, a nearly street. I have 6, 5, 4, 3. Is 10, 15, 20 total.
Right, yeah. So Wisp has gone over towards the tables. You're standing there. Alara's not standing far from you, so she needs to do the same thing, to be honest. So she rolled that plus her. Yep, so she... So, to describe what happened, you see the little girl materialize behind the bleeding mug, raise a hand in your direction, and then a wall of flame blasts towards you and Alara.
Oh, nice. Mug is like, what? Nice.
Both of you dive out of the way. Just Alara barely makes it.
Mug is looking at his hands. I didn't know I could do this.
Mug, you hear a voice whisper in your ear going, "No, you can't, but I can."
Who's that?
It's the magic door. That's not actual Edric saying that, though, because Edric didn't hear the voice.
So that was all that mug's gonna do.
My turn.
It's actually Two other people get a turn first, which is your allies. So Alara is going to respond to that shenaniganry by using her arcane blast at the injured mug and hitting.
She's stealing my kill.
Yep. She hits, and the blast sends the mug staggering backwards. It's still up.
Oh no.
And it's now scorched and bleeding.
Of course it's still up. I have a shit ton of hit points.
And behind Mug, another shape manifests. So behind Mug B, and
Mug B. Wait, Mug B is me.
Yep.
No?
And
Okay.
a childish sing-song voice says, "Let me show you how it's really done."
Oh.
And over the top of Mug's head, a wall of flame goes directly into the mug in front of him, and into the second mug.
They're stealing my kill.
So
This is why you hate her.
Amongst other reasons.
Mug is like, but I wanted to fight war. It's a fight to the death.
that's all right.
And they're dying, right?
They
They're
might
winning.
they might make their dexterity saves.
Is that what
My
the girl
dexterity is
says to
not the
Mug?
best. No.
That is 11 plus. Hang on. Right. Noted. And this one. Right.
Uh-oh.
Let me just double check the damage chart.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Right. There we go. So neither of the mugs get out of the way, and flames wash over them.
Ah.
The mug directly in front of Mug B, so let's call him Mug A, is still standing, very singed and looking very angry. The other mug, we'll call him Mug C, the one that was near the ghost girl, is now scorched. His beard is extremely burnt and looks extremely pissed off. And despite that, is still standing. Edric, you're up.
Yes. See how
My
stuff.
turn.
And while you're up, okay, so Wisp, you rolled a 16. So, Silas, who are you shooting?
So there's one mug that's lying and that just fire came out of, basically?
So there is a very, very injured mug in the middle of a circle. Behind him was where a whole bunch of flame jetted at you. There is a very ghostly shape hovering behind. There is the second mug. Basically the other two mugs are facing each other in combat, and the hovering shape behind that one just toasted the other two mugs.
Well, the one that toasted the other two seems to be, or at least last time I checked, that was the friendly one.
She was the one that declared, "Let me show you how it's done."
Yes, but it's also the one that responded to me shooting that other mug with, "You shot me."
Yep.
Right? Which was a dead giveaway that's the real mug, basically.
Yep.
So what Silas would do is he'd act on that, and he's gonna first aim for the one. Basically, he's been calling his kill, the one that he first shot.
Yep.
He's gonna look at that one, point the gun straight at the head, and just go, "My turn," and just pull the trigger.
Go for it.
Is it 666?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Right, so this was the very injured one?
Yes. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus
So,
4.
I'm just going to say, no need to roll damage. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to aim for that one's face. Like, straight between the eyes, because that one was looking at me with the fire and such.
Yep.
I'm just going to, like, aim, and I'm going to go, "My turn, bitch," and just shoot. And then, because I have stunt points, and this one hit,
Yep.
I assume.
It hit and killed, so basically you say that and this mug goes flying backwards, his head whipping back in a crack and just falls still. The shimmering shape vanishes.
I'm going to choke back some puke because there's a lot of blood coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to rapid reload.
Yeah. Yep.
Lightning attack. And for my second attack, I'm also going to use Pierce Armor.
Go for it.
And a rapid reload to end it off.
You fucker! You shot me in the face!
Hey, Mug!
These are my fights! Don't interfere!
Too late now.
Mug is trying to jump in.
5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 is 8, 11, 16.
That's a hit.
And
I like how I don't have to say.
I have a pinpoint.
Yes, you do.
Okay, so that's 2, 4. So that's 4 plus 3 is 10 pistol damage. And 4 is pinpoint damage.
And that was with Pierce Armor.
Total 14. Yes, total is 14 damage with Pierce Armor.
The second mug staggers, and a spray of blood actually hits you, Mugby.
Oh. You asshole. We haven't even ripped off our shirts, and now my shirt is all bloody.
You can still rip it up. Also, I'm going to top it off with one last rapid reload, because that's perfectly under the 6 stunt points.
Right, yeah. So the let's just double check what this does. No, it won't do that. Instead, this mug is literally just going to take a swing with its maul at the mug directly in front of him. That'll be a hit.
Ooh.
Ouch. I'm sorry.
Oh wow. Okay. What did you do?
Just on the dice damage wise, that was a lot.
I can probably take it.
Oh,
Rogue
actually,
can take it.
do that. Just realised I rolled too many dice, so I just subtracted the highest. So that will be still a lot. 3 plus 4 plus that. 13 damage minus your armor, so that'll be 9 damage.
That's not too bad. That's just 20 damage so far.
Yeah, it's chipping away. So
Slowly.
yeah. That's all for them. And that brings up you, Mug. And what I just saw the meme. So Whisp. You've gone up to the tables, and while all this is going on behind you, you've been scrabbling through ancient parchments and paperwork.
So you didn't even see my leg kill.
Nope.
Amongst that paperwork, you start to find notes in a spidery hand that, a quick glance, appears to be almost like lab reports and experiments.
Uh-huh.
They seem to be referring to a magical item.
Right.
That the author of these documents called an ancient bag of ammo. Ammo. Or ammunition.
Alright, okay.
From the notes, it seems like the idea was to duplicate the effect at a larger scale.
As like multiplication and not like size.
As in, rather than using a small bag, using a larger area. At the bottom, it mentions successes and failures and a big warning. Do not use organic matter.
Alright. Okay. 2.
There's a lot of other papers along with this, although they seem to be some sort of cipher or encryption.
Would Alara maybe know what they are? Like, the encryptions? Like, could I, like, go over and ask her to come over and have a look?
Yeah, you could always ask Alara or anyone else.
Well, I think Edric and Mug are still fighting, are they not? So I might try and get, like, Alara's attention.
Yep. She's going to glance in your general direction as you wave over at her.
Alara, can you come here, please?
She nods, and I'll just double check whose turns on what. Actually, off the top of my head, I believe it was your turn, Mug, so I'll presume you're going to roll an attack.
Oh yeah. Can I do an attack with the maul, or is there
Yep.
anything more clever I can do?
You could use them all.
Okay. Okay. So let's try to whack it.
Yep.
Yes. Finally, stunt points.
Oh, good. You will know if you hit.
Oh, I think it is definitely a hit.
Yeah.
And I also have 5 stunt points. So.
Awesome. So as you're fighting or taking your swing, Alara is going to make her way through the gap between the two circles over to Whisp. And she'll be glancing over her shoulder at the two mugs and then at you, Whisp, and say, I'm not all that keen to leave them just fighting there, but you found something?
Mm-hmm. Don't suppose you have any idea what this is, do you?
She looks at the notes, and you see that she pretty much speed reads through the stuff that's in just general common. And then she gets to the cipher. Sort of, you see her sort of pout a little bit as if she's thinking. And I'll just see. Well, that was an insanely crap roll. Let's see if the rest of it makes up for that. You know what? That's kind of hilarious. She looks at it, and you see her pouting, and then it slowly turns into a frown, and then her eyes widen, and she takes the sheet and just rotates it like a full 120 degrees. Swears and says, that would have made life a little easier.
Meanwhile, can I roll my damage?
Yep, roll your damage.
Yeah, well, so I have 5 stun points.
Yep.
So can I do pierce armor, and is it double damage or is it?
Mighty Blow lets you roll. Oh, hang on. Let me just double check what you have.
Plus 2d6 for Mighty Blow.
Yep. And
plus 2d6?
Sorry, you're thinking Lethal Blow, which is 5 stun points.
Oh, sorry. Lethal Blow.
Yeah.
Mighty Blow is plus 1.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, let's do pierce armor and mighty blow, which is plus 1.
Yep.
Okay.
Alara is also reading the notes.
Yeah, so it's 13 points with pierce armor.
Yep, so that will be
and
11 points of damage.
Is doing a war cry. Don't steal my kills!
So, Mug, you deliver an awesome hit to your doppelganger's guts with your hammer, and you hear a rib crack. Your doppelganger's still up, and you're well aware of the fact that he's still got enough fight in him to go for a bit.
Yeah! Look how tough I am!
So, Alara's going to turn to Whisp, and she's going to say, any creature it brings back is twisted.
Alright, okay. Kind of got that idea when it started attacking Mug. Or is...
There's more to it, but if we destroy the doppelganger, we will at least be able to have the time to solve this issue.
Okay. Twisted. Why?
Mug, you're going to hear a whisper in your ear and go, would you like me to leave this to you?
Yes, this is my fight. You know, sometimes you have to face yourself.
You hear a soft smile giggle in your ear that then is followed by, we must always face our demons.
Yeah, you're good at compliments. I'm as strong as a demon.
And with that, Edric, you're up.
It's the best fight Mug has had in a while.
So there's still 2 mugs standing. One.
There are 2 mugs standing. Both of them look to have been a little battered.
One of them has bullet holes, right?
Yes. One of them you've clearly shot twice.
I'm gonna shoot the one that has bullet holes.
Go for
That
it.
seems like a good idea. That's 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 16 total.
That's a hit. Where the hell did I lose that dice to?
With 4 stunt points. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mighty blow, pierce armor, and rapid reload.
Go for it.
Okay. Mighty blow means I get to roll d6. I'm gonna also add pinpoint.
Yep.
So that's 5 plus. Oh, 5 plus 1 plus 3 plus 3 is pistol damage. 5 is pinpoint. $17 damage in total, and I used pierce armor with that.
Rightio. So, Mug, you see the other Mug in front of you straighten up and go to swing at you, and then he pitches
bring it.
over sideways.
No! Not yet. I wasn't done. Who killed me?
I make a little bow.
You fucker!
Alara looks at the bodies of Mug lying around.
Mug is trying. Mug is like, you know what? I will just make more of myself so I can keep fighting. I haven't had enough.
Can I stop Mug from doing that?
You can try.
How do you plan on doing that?
Can I shoot Mug in the kneecap so that walking is difficult?
What? Can I try to dodge that?
So, Silas, that will be an aim shot.
Yep.
What?
So that's +1, right?
Yep.
What? How dare you? Better be triple one.
It's not triple ones.
Is it close?
It's less close than you probably want. Oh wait, and I get +1 for it being a cold shot. So aimed. That makes it a 16 total with 3 stunt
What?
points.
Fuck. Fuck.
Mug. So because you're specifically aiming for the knee to disable rather than cause damage.
Yeah, it's not meant to do harm. It's meant to.
Yeah.
It does harm. It's not meant to kill you.
Oh yeah, it's meant to make sure that Mug can't walk, not that Mug can live.
So what's your perception, Silas?
My perception.
Yep.
Is 3.
Right. So Mug, you take a further 6 damage directly to the kneecap.
Wait, what?
And that drops you.
Oh my god.
So
wait, that doesn't drop me to 0 yet.
no, it drops you to like off your feet.
Yeah.
He's
And
basically he's shot the leg out from underneath you.
Can I call out?
Oh.
Does anyone have rope?
Yeah, I still have yours. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm making sure we don't get more Mugs.
You could have literally just run after him.
Alara.
I'm not stronger than Mug. Alara, could you please heal him?
Alara is
But
just sort of looking
Mug is
between the
very
three of you.
angry. Mug is shouting profanities and promising to break Edric into tiny little bits.
Oh,
Do I have like mead on me?
you have your venom.
And
Yeah, but I'm not.
yeah.
I'm not force feeding Mug venom.
Yes.
Let's just tie Mug up so he can't walk rather than hurt him, you know?
Yeah, that's a good idea now, but I wasn't gonna win if I was gonna try and push Mug away.
Right, so if the two of you are going to tie up Mug, I'll get you to roll a combined strength might.
So that would be
Mug?
Oh, can I resist?
Yes, your strength might to resist.
So strength might means +2 to it.
Yep.
Oh, but I rolled badly, so.
Well, what I'll say is, since Whisp is the one with the rope, it will be hers, plus if Silas passes a score of, say, 12, we can add 2.
okay. Mine is not added then because I rolled 11.
Right. So, this is like the worst case of fishing either of you have ever done in your life. You try to wrap the rope around Mug, who begins thrashing wildly. And every time you get a loop on, he thrashes right back out.
Hold still, this is for your own good. You're hurt enough.
No, I haven't had enough fight.
Alara is just
You
gobsmacked.
stole my fight. I didn't even defeat one of myself.
Yep, that's fine.
Edric!
Yes. Okay. Can I try again to help tie down the Mug?
Yep. Alara's just
To
watching this, just staring in shock. And
Do I reroll to resist?
yep, you get to re-roll a resist.
Oh,
You've also like
You
managed to
cannot-
inch yourself closer towards the other circle. Like you were literally trying to drag yourself on your hands into it.
I
But
believe I
rolled
did the
really
math
badly.
correctly. Oh, it's 16. Sorry. Not 18.
Right. And Mug, you rolled.
Yeah. Yeah, so Mug has rolled very badly right now. So Mug is getting tired.
Mug,
Well,
your fingertips are
what?
just brushing the edge of the circle when they finally manage to just loop enough rope around you to stop you moving.
So close.
Yeah, can we pull Mug away from the circle?
Yep,
like far away.
you manage to pull him away and bundle him up and tie him up. At which point, Alara walks over and approaches, and then slowly looks down at Mug, looks over at Wisp, and then looks at you, Edric, and then stabs a finger into your chest and goes, "And what was wrong with asking?"
What would I have
Oh,
asked? What would I have asked Mug to stop him from running into the circle and creating more Mugs?
Just that. And then she turns around, pops down, and looks at you, Mug, and goes, "Mug, the things coming out of there are extremely bad.
No, they are very good. They fight well.
They may
See?
fight well, but they're causing harm to another as well."
Oh,
What harm? We were having fun. It was good fun.
Only for
Very-
you.
What was it not fun for? Guys, did you not have fun fighting me?
no!
No.
Don't lie!
Well, okay, a little bit then.
There we go. That's the truth.
Can I whisper to Wisp?
That's nice.
Wisp, so that the issues with this copying thing, is that for everything or only for living things?
Organic matter. Alara thinks everything gets more twisted, and evidently, given that the mugs and the manticores, I'm going to say, yeah, that's true.
Is silver coins or gold coins, are those organic matter?
Are they living, breathing things?
Last I checked, they aren't.
If you want to experiment by throwing, I guess, just if it attacks you, that's your problem.
I'm gonna look at Alara.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go. Could I technically copy coins?
You could, but I would say be extremely careful. I do have the rest of this to read, now that we're not shooting dwarves all over the place.
Shall I first try one coin?
But wait, you haven't explained to me why it's bad to make more of me when it's clearly so good.
I'll get to that, Mug. And then she turns around to you, Silas, and goes, whatever you do, do not go and fetch the original coin.
Huh, that's a good point. Wait, so then it doesn't really...
But if it duplicates in the circle, how are you supposed to fetch it?
My point exactly. And then she sits down in front of you, Mug, and pulls out the paperwork.
How wide is this circle?
It's a couple of meters across.
Oh, damn it.
Glenn?
Yep.
What was the thing about the bag of magic ammo again? So I just have a note in my bed. I can't remember what it's about.
The notes were mentioning that the experiment that you've come across was an attempt to replicate on a larger scale an existing artifact.
Right.
Which was a bag that duplicated ammunition.
I need that bag.
So Alara's going to be reading the notes in front of you, Mug, but she's going to say, every time you duplicated in that circle, your friend duplicated as well.
My friend? It was just me?
Mug, you've got a whisper in your ear, and me.
Who's that?
I'm gonna grit through my teeth. It's that fucking girl, isn't it? And I'm gonna point my gun just above Mug.
These mugs aren't going to come back alive again, are they? Like the manticore.
Alara looks up and says, I don't think so.
Good.
But what's the problem with duplicating? I don't get it.
It's the fact that it was you. One of you is more than enough.
Yes, we like
What?
you.
One of us were more than what?
One of you is more than enough.
No, that's not true. The more of me, the better.
No.
No? You know, if you have a good thing, you want more of it, right?
No.
But who said you're a good thing?
Me said.
You hear Alara sigh. And then she looks across at you, Mug, and says, the more of you there are, the more of your friend there is.
Yeah. The more good people, right?
What comes out of that circle is not good.
It was very good for me.
In the short term.
Why does nobody explain anything to me? Says Mug. No one explains me things properly.
Well, what
Oh.
happened? Well, what would you think would have happened when they won?
Sorry?
What do you think would have happened when they won?
I mean, we were just going to have a good fight. And, you know, I would have won and it would have been fine.
Are the copies still around?
The bodies are still there, yes.
Can I toss one of the pistols from the bodies into the circle? Like, not far into the circle, just on the edge.
Yep.
Does it copy?
It clatters and doesn't copy.
Can I use my quarterstaff to, like, inch it out of the circle?
Oh no.
So I'll get you to do a dex.
Oh no.
Oh, this is actually pretty okay. We're only slightly going to die.
Alright.
You have good decks, right?
Yeah, usually.
Okay. So you reach in with your quarterstaff and you go to nudge the pistol, and as you do, you drag the tip of your staff across the ground, which glows.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
So is there a second staff or is there a second Edric?
Oh no. I can't handle a second Edric.
I can. It's called an arquebus.
Oh.
You see at the other end of the room, the circle glows.
Yeah.
And standing in the center of it, holding a quarterstaff on the ground, is another Edric.
Oh.
I'm gonna pull out my arquebus and shoot.
So,
Without any reservations, just immediately
And
pull
Mug
the
is
gun that's hanging on my side and just shoot.
Mug shouts, "Finally, I can pay you back, Edric."
so
Even though he can't
Edric, since that was the first thought on your mind, it's also the first thought on the other Edrics. So it's
Yep.
gonna race
walk.
you.
Initiative.
Okay. I am loving my dice tonight.
That's right. I think you beat him.
18 initiative.
Yeah, the other Edric was a lot slower on the draw.
Okay. So in that case, I shoot my arquebus?
Yep.
Can Mug do anything, or he's
Mug,
too
you're
far
still a
away
nice
to...
little bundle of joy. Tied up in front of...
Oh yeah, Mug is tied up now.
Yep.
Mug is just shouting.
You can try to
"Let me
break the
fight him,
constraints.
Let me fight him." Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely. He's like, "Let me fight him."
12, 18, 23 to hit.
Well, you'll know if that's a hit.
I can guarantee that that's a hit. With 6 stunt points as well.
Yep.
Which means that at this point, the best thing I can do is rapid reload, lightning attack, another rapid reload. You know what? No second rapid reload. I rapid reload,
Yep.
lightning attack, and oh shit, I don't have the ability to range, do I?
You don't have the ability to what?
Disarm at range yet, right?
Not yet, I don't think.
Okay, in that case, rapid reload plus lightning attack plus rapid reload Yeah, I'm gonna rapid reload, lightning attack, another rapid reload, and a skirmish to push him back.
Yep.
And I am probably not faster than this one.
No, you are not.
So no pinpoint attack.
Nope.
That's a first. Okay. This, and I did a mighty. No, I didn't do a mighty blow. I did a lightning. So that's max damage on the first attack. 6 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3 is 18 damage on the first hit.
Yep.
And the second attack, what happens if I tie the defense? Oh, never mind. It's I have one higher.
Yep.
It's
good.
5. I get to add my thing, of course, the +4 for the +2 for it being the scoped arquebus.
Yep.
Okay, in that case, that's just a hit, and that one doesn't get any bonuses, so that's just 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 14 damage.
I don't have your sheet up at the moment, so how much?
Or armor is 3.
So you subtract 6 off your grand total. That.
Yeah, so that would be 26 damage left. That is dealt. Then there's a solid 20 hit points left to still take off him.
Right. So you literally whip out your arquebus and rapidly unload 2 shots into yourself. The shots rip up the front of the other Edric, and he is bleeding profusely everywhere.
How does he respond to his own blood?
See, here's the classic thing. Both of you are rolling will saves.
Oh.
Is this the perfect time to fuck up?
Aww.
Okay. We'll see what comes of this.
Okay.
Oh.
So yep. Yeah, that happened. Edric, you faint.
Fair.
And you're standing right next to the circle.
Oh no, please tell me.
Do we roll dex to decide if I fall correct way?
Yeah.
Well,
well, actually,
can roll dex if they can push you.
To be honest, yeah, I'm actually going to say Whisp, since you're pretty much the only untied up person at the minute.
Yeah.
As you see Edric start to fall, I'll need you to do a dex.
Oh.
To try and grab him and yank him out of the circle before he hits the ground. So you can do this as a reaction.
That include initiative or no?
Just dex. If you've got acrobatics, or something, you can add to that. Yep. 20.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With lightning reflexes, you're not gentle. You literally just grab him and hurl him. He skids across the ground.
Like,
Yep, pretty much that. He's already unconscious anyway. You figure it's not gonna hurt.
The only one not being excited by this is Alara, because she has to wake me up every 2 hours now throughout the
Yeah.
So the other one's still standing.
The other one is standing. It has looked down on itself, and then it has looked at Edric, who is passed out, and it's now laughing as it draws its arquebus.
Oh.
Please, by God, roll a triple one on this arquebus shot. Because I know what happens. For this arquebus, by the way, remember that it's a special arquebus.
Yep.
I'll tell you the bonuses when you shoot.
Oh.
Don't worry, it missed.
Thank
Sure?
goodness.
That's plus
Yep.
6 to hit.
Yep, no, it missed.
Okay.
That was a very low roll. Spinning those dice. That said, a voice whispers in your ear, Mug, and says,
Yes.
Oh no.
I think you got the fight you wanted. The ropes are untied.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you motherfucker.
So, Mug, as you get up, you see that there's a second Edric in the circle now. And it has fired or attempted to fire at the other Edric who had been effectively yeeted out of the way by Whisp.
Yeah, I think Mug is going for it with the two-handed mole shouting, I will pay you back, you fucker. I will get you in the face.
Yep. So while you do
Mug
that,
is
Whisp is...
charging.
Yep. So you can charge and attack. Wisp, yep, I'll also do that at the same time, so you
But
can use a
how
heal
about
potion.
my kneecap? Can I still charge if my kneecap is hurt?
So you were healed for 13 hit points by Alara already.
Ooh.
So that will
Okay.
include your knee.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Aye.
Okay. Does Edric look like he... Yeah, does Edric wear a lot of armor?
Nope.
Okay.
Edric wears a thick leather coat, but not necessarily thick armor.
Okay. Yeah. So I managed to get 3 stunt points. I'm assuming I have managed. So how much do I have? So that's... Oh, I'm not sure. Does it 13 hits, or do I get anything for a charge?
You get a +1 on a charge.
Oh,
Okay, that's
that's
14 hits.
That's needed because the defense is 13.
Right, so, yep,
Oh.
Mug, you hit.
Yes. So with 3 hit points, I can do a mighty blow, right? So
Yep.
+1. Yeah. Oh, ha 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 ha. Okay. So, what's my damage modifier? It's plus.
So strength on your
Yeah, it's +7, honey. Okay.
This is gonna be
So,
hilarious.
let me add this up. So yeah, I'm trying to hit him right in his face. Okay, so 11. 20 points. 20 points of damage. With the mole in the face.
Wait,
Well, or somewhere.
question.
Yep.
Have we found out what happens when someone steps into the other circle?
Yes, nothing happens if they go into the other one yet.
Oh, okay, good. Phew.
On the flip side, right? So, Mug, you have charged in with your maul, and swung a massive blow that has connected cleanly with Edric's face. And you hear the sound of shattering bone.
Payback time.
The other Edric staggers backwards, spitting blood and teeth.
Ooh, more blood.
Edric, you wake up just in time to see your doppelganger's face get rearranged.
God damn it. That's another will save, I guess.
Yep.
I'm glad my dice decided that I should stay awake now.
Noted.
So do I kill him? Do I kill him?
He's pretty much on one knee and looks extremely hurt.
He had 20 hit points left after those first pistol shots, Glenn.
Yep, and you will subtract 2 from your armor?
3.
3. So let's just say that on a scale of 1 to 10, he's looking like a 3. Yeah, Edric, the doppelganger Edric is barely keeping himself up.
Yeah. I will finish you. It's payback time, bitch.
Alara is going to actually cast a healing spell again. This time targeting everybody.
Oh, but not the other Edric, right?
No, not the other Edric.
Glenn.
Okay, good.
Yep.
How does it work with initiative and Edric?
Edric is going to take you a turn to pull yourself together and get up.
Okay.
So that will be 11 hit points healing for everyone that needs it.
Good.
And the very, very injured Edric is going to try and... Well, he's going to drop his arquebus.
Just drop it in the ground?
Yep. Tossing it to the side.
I'm going to curse at him because that's not how you treat a gun.
And then he's going to pull his pistols. And he's going to shoot. Or attempt to shoot at Mug.
He can shoot only one pistol in a turn.
That's right, he's shooting the first one.
Yeah, well, bring him.
Right.
Bring it, you trash face.
This is Edric, he brought it. So 6 stun points.
So that's +4 on the attack roll because it's pistol. Wait, is it sugar or spice that he...
He's probably pulled sugar.
Okay.
So that and that and that. He is going to do that plus that. And that. So your pistol shot, Edric, is plus how much on the damage?
1d6 plus 3 plus perception, which is another...
So plus 6. 6. Alright. So the first shot was 16 damage. Subtract that off with armor, so 12 damage, Mug. And he's going for a lightning.
Oh, wow. He's my kill. Don't take him.
No, this is him shooting you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep, so
Sorry.
12 damage on Mug,
It's okay.
and then this happens.
So he's not stealing your kill, he's killing you.
Nope, he switches his
What?
aim up and
What?
shoots Alara.
Oh.
Wait, would any version of Edric shoot Alara?
Well, now it has happened, so you will have to
Well.
apologize for this.
It was twisted.
Fair.
Yeah, or he just knows that Alara is more dangerous and will try to kill him.
I wouldn't want to tick off Alara, to be fair. So, that Edric's funeral.
Well, Mug is trying to kill him already.
Alara had been starting to try and get up, and she staggers, clutching at her shoulder, blood spraying everywhere as she is hit by the evil-looking Edric.
Can I shoot this Edric?
It is Mug, then you.
Oh, back to me. So, yeah, Mug is trying to finish off Edric. In terms of, yeah.
Yep.
A final big attack with them all. Yeah, let's go for it. Flatten him. Oh shit. Well, it's not the worst, but it's kind of bad. I don't think this is going to. This one is not going to hit.
Add +1 to aim.
What's the total?
But even that's not going to be enough because three is to attack, I think. So it's fine. Yeah, this is just 11. I think.
Yeah,
So
that's not gonna hit.
Yep.
Oh no!
The Edric staggers backwards, just out of range of your hit.
Ah, stop running away! Shouts Mug.
Edric, you're up.
He's angered me. I'm gonna point the arquebus at his. Well, I know the weak spots in his armor.
Go for it.
I'm gonna try and aim for like the underside of the belly. So where the
Yep.
chest, the coat, where the coat ends.
Yep.
And the pants begin, like right in the middle spot.
Yep.
Is 17 to hit, so that.
Yep.
And that's gonna be 2d6 plus 6 damage. Do I even need to roll?
No, because you just on the +6 kill him.
Okay, in that case, as soon as he falls, I'm gonna
No, Edric takes all of the kills. Not fair.
So, Mug,
I'm gonna.
you take a swing and see this cocky bastard grinning at you as he steps backwards just outside of range. And then he literally flies backwards under the force of the shot of the arquebus from behind you. And lands on the ground, not getting back up.
Damn it, Edric.
You're welcome.
You're the worst piece of shit I know.
I'm gonna get up, carefully walk around the circle.
Yep.
I'm gonna make sure that I get at least the pistols and the rifle away from this copy.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna first turn to Alara and look at her and just go, "Are you okay?"
Alara is
Wait.
bleeding and clutching her shoulder and swearing in a number of languages.
Some of which I likely don't understand.
Yep, and she is staring at a very bloody mess of notes.
Uh-oh. I'm going to pull out the wooden box of potions that I found. And
Yep.
I'm just going to go, is there anything that you could use in here? I have no clue what these do, but maybe they can help.
I have bandages.
Ooh, those can probably be more useful.
She just points at Whisp and says, I'll take those.
Okay.
I'll make them. And I'm going to take the box of potions, going to put it away, and just going to walk back to the Edric's body and just fetch the important stuff.
Wait. No. Meanwhile, Mug has started. So I wanted to say this: that Mug goes with his maul and starts to decimate Edric, like the dead Edric's body, saying, "Stop stealing my fucking kills." Yeah.
Edric, you put your stuff away and then turn to go back to the body just in time to see Mug start laying into it with his maul.
I'm going to run outside.
You run out with the sound of your own cracking ribs in the background.
Oh.
I'm going to just have a little puke. Also, does that create heat or friction when a mole repeatedly smashes the same spot?
It's not at risk of setting off the black powder.
Damn it!
That would be a bit weird.
That would have been about 50 shots worth of black powder still on that boy.
Could you imagine what would have happened if you didn't dodge?
Yup. Yup.
So Alara's going to heal herself and then use the bandage on her shoulder. And then she's going to gather up the notes and try and clean off as much of the blood as possible.
Can I have like a scope around the room to see if I can find this bag of ammo?
Yep. So I'll get you to do a perception seeing check. Alara is going to walk around the two circles looking at the runes. And
17.
then right. So you go and start rummaging through cupboards and broken drawers, and underneath a whole bunch of equipment and damaged tools and other odds and ends that seem to have just been shoved into a drawer of many things that someone hasn't really cared all that much about. You find a leather bag. It's old and patchy. Not super big. You could probably put a few items in it. It's kind of long, so you could probably get away with trying to even use it as a makeshift quiver if you wanted, but it appears to be for shot.
Right. Can I take the stuff out of it if there's anything in it?
You give it a bit of a shake and it makes a clinking noise. And so do you just turn it upside down and upend it?
Yeah.
You turn it upside down and it drops a number of round shot onto the table.
And then put them back inside and see if it duplicates them.
Well, as you right the bag back up, you realise that it's weighing the exact same as it did when you first tipped it.
Oh. Can I tip it out to see?
You tip it out and the exact same number of bullets fall out.
Can I just do that a couple of times to make sure this is actually happening?
Yep, you just keep doing it and eventually there is a ton of round shot just rolling around on top of the desk.
Can I like get back inside just to see her like repeatedly tipping over this bag that has seemingly infinite shots.
You finish dry heaving and slowly pull yourself together and go back inside. Mug, are you still desecrating the body?
I might be finished by now. I don't know how well did I do.
I'm gonna specifically look away from where Mug was the last time I looked that general direction.
Mug, you have worked your way through most of your anger issues.
Oh, okay, that's good. Mug is feeling better.
You like the concept of the fact that you were able to take out your issues on the Edric that was standing there.
Oh yeah, also guys, I'm losing charge on my headphones, so I don't know how much longer I can stay.
That's right. I think we'll wind it up soon.
Yep.
Okay.
So, what I'll just say is Alara's going to walk around the outskirts of these circles and then occasionally cast an incantation. And after about a minute of this, she says a final incantation and the runes slowly dim.
Oh.
She then rolls up all the pieces of paper and puts them in a pouch. She then walks over to where you are where you're playing with the bag Wisp and says, "I believe that will solve the long-term issues."
Indeed.
Edric's gonna look at that bag being repeatedly empty. Like, he's gonna just stare, his jaw dropped. And he's just gonna go, "Can I buy that from you?"
You just want it for the ammo.
Yes, it's a lot safer than how I'm carrying it right now. And he's opening like one side of his coat that is lined with small bags of black powder.
Oh gosh.
And then he shudders, thinking back at what happened with the fire. And he's like, "I have this box of potions that you can have. I guess they're safer in your hands anyway."
Fair dues. I don't have a gun anyway. I'm not interested in guns.
Here you go. And he just hands you the potions because, well, that's the thing that he feels that he shouldn't have.
I am curious though, is it just ammo that'll come out of it, or have you put something else in? Would that duplicate it and change it, or?
You can definitely do some further testing. How do I call it? Is it like a copying ammo bag?
Well,
Just call it a bag of infinite ammo.
I like that name.
Before you ask, you cannot put a cannonball in it.
I hadn't even thought of that option.
It's not that big.
Fair. You did describe it as only being like a small bag.
Yep.
But if you were to pull out one shot at a time to reload, for example, his arquebus, that would be infinite then, in that
Pretty much.
way.
Yeah. You'd still have to do the action of reloading.
Yeah, it doesn't replace reload.
Yeah. It's just
That could be awesome. Can I use that bag upside down as a hopper on my rifle at some point? Unfortunately, that doesn't work. Black powder weapons.
No, you'd blow the bag off. So with that, Alara's going to look towards the rest of you and say, "I don't know about the rest of you, but I think I'm done with exploring these ruins for now."
well, there is the issue of we have lost Bingo somewhere.
Bingo, and Bingo is his name.
At least I guess we can shout without worry about calling on a whole bunch of manticores.
Are there any leftover manticores? Oh no, they started raining from the skies.
Oh well, I had a good fight. You can go home. I'm ready to have a good meal and sleep.
I see you very much hand my copy. Thank you for protecting us, Mug.
Is the rope in tatters, or can I collect that again?
I'm not thanking you for stealing my kills, Edric. Fuck you. Says
You know
stomping
what?
out.
Those drinks that you owed me, we'll just call that even, and then that's my way of repaying you.
You get it. Accept that.
So you gather up your equipment. Before you go to leave, Alara does stop you, Edric.
Yes?
And she puts one finger in the middle of your chest and goes, next time I suggest not putting anything organic into that circle or anything else like that. Please do listen.
I thought that if I didn't put myself in the circle that would help, but apparently not. Sorry.
She smiles and goes, I'll make sure you make it up for me.
Also, I sincerely thought I was listening to you.
Well, I'd rather not get shot next time.
That sounds like a good idea. Maybe instead we can try, shooting the thing quicker.
And next time you can listen.
We'll see about that. I'm not that good at listening.
Or next time you can wind up tied up on the floor with Mug.
You know what? I'll just listen.
Appreciated. And with that, she saunters out. So I'll leave it there, because we will give Bingo a chance to possibly be found on the way out. Otherwise, we will get caught up with Bingo's grand adventures afterwards.
Quick mechanical question here.
Yep.
Not necessarily needed. Oh, wait. Maybe we should shut off recording first. Sorry.
All good. I'll get a yo-ho for the recording and then I'll shut that.
Yo-ho!
Yo ho.
Yo-ho.